I went over to my Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me all the fall questions. So we're gonna do another Q&A, but with a fall themed. Obviously, so if you're not following me on my Instagram, it's linked here and it's always linked in the description down below. Definitely go check it out. But first, like, let's give this Goonies themed outfit its minute. So I just got this shirt. I got it from Amazon. Never Say Die. I love this image. I think it is so cute and very like Goonies unique, you know, because I feel like it's always like the picture of them in the cave kind of thing. So I love that it's this image. And then we've got my Goonies hat. I've had this one for a while. I believe I also got it from Amazon, so I'll link it down below for you guys. But Goonies definitely is a fall movie for me, and I believe it's also set in a fall setting. I think you would think that I would know this, but it could be spring, like early spring, but there's football in the beginning, so I think it definitely has to be fall. So anyways, for me, it's always been a fall movie, so I thought this would be the perfect outfit for today. Also, the lighting, my cap is kind of casting a shadow, so there's that. But let's go ahead and get into the Q&A. I actually have not seen any of the questions, so I'm not prepped and ready for this. So let's just open up my Instagram and let's see what we got. Scary Halloween or cute Halloween? Asked by Tammy. Thank you for asking me a fall question. Cute Halloween for sure. I could probably dive into this as its own story time, but when I was younger, yeah, I really don't want to get into this one. It's just a little too deep and too dark. But I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and it really messed with me. And it's just, I'm a no-go for scary stuff, especially anything that's like based off of a true story. I was dating this guy once and we were gonna watch The Haunting in Connecticut, I think was the movie. And it was literally just the very beginning with the music and kind of like the credits into the beginning, and I started crying. And he started laughing, which it is funny looking back, but my instant reaction was I just started crying. I was like, I can't. Like, I'm not doing this, I'm not watching this. I've gotten better about it though. Like, I can watch what I think is funny, scary Halloween, like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, like those I've gotten better at, knowing that it's not really technically scary because it's just a fake movie. But again, anything based off of a true story, can't do it. I don't like to pull my emotions that way. Micah's more like that. She loves to feel like all the feels, and she loves things that like draws that. But I have to do, I don't want to feel sadness or scary feelings. Like I personally don't understand that. I have to always feel good and feel happy. So the answer is cute. Cute Halloween only. Favorite fall snack or meal? I probably should have read these questions before because like at the top of my head, don't even know. I would have to say that during the fall, I do tend to drink more coffee just because obviously it's like I drink hot coffee, but I'll still drink it like in the middle of the summer. I definitely think that I gravitate a lot towards pies for sure. I don't normally actually, yeah, I rarely eat pies like just randomly in spring or summer for some reason. It's probably because my favorite pies are very fall based. So like apple pie, cherry pie. Well, cherry pie is kind of summer too, right? But regardless, for me, pies translate fall. So I would say that I definitely love apple pie and cherry pie. Favorite meal, I would have to say that definitely my chili, which I have cooked so many times on my vlog channel. And I think I eventually like shared the recipe to this. Which, by the way, comment down below. Did you try that recipe and did you love it? So I definitely will whip out my crock pot. So gotta make my chili, and I always start making it like in the fall. How are you feeling about fall in Florida? Very good question. Thank you for asking. For those of you that don't know, I'm a Texas girl. I wouldn't say born and raised, but raised. I was there since I was like 6 years old. So 34 years of my life spent in Texas, and it's been a heavy adjustment for me being in Florida. I obviously came willingly because I want to, not because of a job or things like that. I know people sometimes have to move for other reasons. So I did make this choice because I've always wanted to live here. But now I'm realizing little things like, oh, the weather is going to be different. Obviously, I knew those things, at some level. It's just, you don't really start fully thinking about it until like you're living it. So I'm realizing that fall is going to look different this year. And so far I don't have a full opinion on it because I don't believe we've really have hit fall quite yet in Florida. I know it's still going to be warm anyway, and it will still feel like a cooler summer, maybe like what a summer feels like in the north rather than a summer in the south. That's probably what fall is down in Florida. So I did get sad. I have to admit, the other day I thought, I was looking back at my photo album from last year, and I just happened to scroll through like the fall period of photos from Texas, and it hit me then. I was just like, look at all my outfits that I loved, and the weather, and the pumpkin patch Micah and I would go to. It really does tear me up. Making this decision to move came with the pros and it came with the cons, and I'm still only a couple months into living here, so I know it's going to take time. I think going through a full year in Florida, I'll be able to get a better feel, of what that's like. And a lot of you also know that the biggest decision I made to move also included my health, just because the air is incredibly dry where I was living, and it just was not good for my cough. So anyways, diving off, but it hit me really hard. I did really love all of the seasons in Texas. A lot of people don't realize that it gets freezing, like literally freezing there, and we did have a fall. So how am I feeling about fall in Florida? Well, I'm definitely missing home, but I don't think that I've experienced quite yet. But I will say the weather's super nice. It's like low 80s. It's wonderful. So in Texas, I feel like we don't really have very many days where or at least North Texas, where it just feels like nice for long periods of time. Our weather's so erratic and so like hot or cold, and to get that nice California style in between is very rare for us. So anyways, does it get cold there? I assume you mean here in Florida. And the answer is actually yes. I know this just from my own personal experience. When I went to Key West back in 2011 and 2012, I went like back to back 2 years to Key West. And the second time that I went, I packed for Key West weather, and we actually had to go and buy sweaters because it was freezing. I wore jeans the entire time, I wore sweaters the entire time, and it was like in the 50s. So I know that it gets cold in Florida. It has that potential for sure. And that's cold to me. I know northerners, that's not cold. That is cold for the South. And even though in Texas we get to single digits, so obviously very much like the North, we do get freezing temperatures, but still 50s is cold. I don't know how cold it gets in Florida. I don't know if it gets to 40s or 30s, but anyways. Favorite fall movie? This is a hard one again. I just feel like I could just go down a rabbit hole with you guys. It's hard because Hollywood is a questionable thing for me. I've struggled the past couple of years with the realization of kind of what's been going on in Hollywood and stuff like that. Again, not to like go down that route. So it's been a journey for me personally, for certain actors, I guess you could say. And so what I've done is that, or the decision that I've made for myself, because there are so many movies that I've loved and have brought me so much happiness, but on the flip side, there could be, yeah, diving way too off, and maybe some of you know exactly who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about, but I've just kind of come to this conclusion that I don't know everything. I'm not involved in everything that's going on, and so I just don't want to like have a nail in the coffin kind of thing. So for me, I'm just trying to separate the real person from the characters in the movie, if that makes sense. I know I'm like, what is this Q&A already? It's just, who knows, but hopefully you like it. With that said, it's just, yeah. Am I gonna answer this question? So I want to say You've Got Mail, but again, that one is a hard one for me. But again, I'm still in this process of just trying to like separate Hollywood and the rabbit hole to just the movie in itself, and like trying to block, I don't know. So I would say there's just something charming about the music in that, and the fact that it's a redo of a classic. I love that. I love like the classic version. So if you've never seen the You've Got Mail original, it's really good. But obviously I just have so many. I feel like there's not just one. I do have like a slew of videos that I have to watch as soon as fall hits. I have like a certain routine. Like even movies like 16 Candles is a fall movie for me. I decide that really based off of what the characters are wearing and at what point it looks like the movie is done in. So like for example, 16 Candles, school's in session kind of thing, and that really kind of brings me to fall. Anytime there's anything school related, I think fall, because school's back kind of thing. So I love 16 Candles. I love Goonies. It's a big one. I love Clue. And I love all of the, you know, Halloween Towns. Those are just really good staples. And we've got Hocus Pocus, of course, and Beetlejuice. But I have to say, I gotta give a shout out to one movie that I think a lot of you may not, one, either have watched yet, or two, tied it to fall. Because again, this is just subjective, but Galaxy Quest. You gotta watch this movie. It's absolutely hilarious. I love this movie. I feel like it's definitely a spoof, kind of, off of Star Trek, maybe, in a way. It has Tim Allen in it, and I love anything Tim Allen does. So he is one of the few Hollywoods that I do like him. And he is just so funny in it. All the characters in it are absolutely hilarious. And the reason why I correlate Galaxy Quest to fall is just because it's almost like costumey. So costumes, Halloween, so like that's where my mind goes. So definitely give Galaxy Quest a try. Favorite fall scent, definitely apples, anything apples. I would love to have cinnamon scents or pumpkin spice scents, but they just honestly give me such a bad headache that they almost actually make me sick. If you watch my Dollar General haul, I hauled those like pumpkin little smelly bag things, and I put them in my craft room, and I was in my craft room doing Etsy orders, and it literally made me so sick. I want to love those scents so bad, like you just don't know. I get such a terrible headache. Anything fruity always works. So anything apple, top of my list for fall. What's your perfect fall day? Again, that changes. There's just anything that's just relaxing, honestly. Like cozying up all day in the living room. I would say I would pick the living room for sure. I wouldn't pick my bedroom. Cozying up in the living room and just watching a bunch of fall movies and scrolling through my phone, you know? Or I've loved, like I will tell myself like, oh my gosh, today's the day, it's gonna be all YouTube. And it literally makes me so happy. Like I will sit down and just watch all YouTube. I'll put on like a fun fall little sweater, feel that little fall moment. So I've been loving doing that. Of course, a lot of fall is going to change for me. I'm going to incorporate the beach now. So I'm sure I'm going to probably love maybe doing a little like fall outing, little shopping trip, and then stopping at the beach. And that's going to be like my new fall for me. You know, the beach is, again, a big reason why I'm here. So there's that. What are my nostalgic fall must-haves, movies, food? Yeah, it's really anything with sound. Sound tends to really carry a lot of weight for me. It's kind of like, do you ever just put on the NFL? Because the sounds are so nostalgic from like the 90s, from like growing up as a kid, and you just like hearing it on in the background. You don't really want to watch it, but you want the sound of it. That's how I feel a lot of the times about fall and certain fall movies. So again, it just goes back to all of my movies. It could be Goonies, 16 Candles, Beetlejuice. Just having it on in the background is going to instantly make it very fall for me. Food, again, chili, pies. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Am I a fall baby? I'm not. I'm technically a winter baby. Yeah, I'm thinking of, I'm born in December, so I'm the 25th, so that technically makes me winter, and actually it technically makes Micah fall. She was December 4th. So Micah's a fall baby, which is so weird to say, but I'm a winter baby. What are my favorite fall foods and pumpkin spice faves? Yeah, I just said those, and unfortunately with pumpkin spice, I don't have faves because I can't handle it. Here in the upstate New York, the leaves turn to the most beautiful colors. Do they turn in Texas and Florida? They do in Texas for sure. Yeah, I think that probably surprises a lot of people, but like I said, Texas has all the seasons. They do, all the leaves fall, the grass kind of dies out. It goes through that process. As far as Florida goes, y'all, I ain't seeing nothing happen here. None. It's green as day. All the trees look fully intact. They just didn't get the fall memo. How are my allergies now that I'm in Florida? No cough. Definitely not experiencing allergies, not that I know of. Maybe I could be from like a different level, from like a little cough. But nothing like the allergies in Texas, so whatever's probably blooming here isn't bothering me that bad. I have noticed the air is obviously very moist, so that's really good for my lungs, so I've been doing pretty good. Fall or Halloween decor, if you could only choose one? Fall, for sure. Does the summer climate where you are take some of the fun out of fall? I imagine the answer is yes. Again, I haven't had enough time, enough experience here to kind of know. I think I'll need to go through the full of it to then look back and see what it felt like. Will you and your daughter be going to harvest or maze thing like you both did last year when you lived in Texas? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm getting too much of a fall vibe here. Like the other day I was in Walmart thinking I was gonna buy pumpkins, like real pumpkins. I haven't seen them. I mean, by now pumpkins are already out in Dallas. I mean, they already have like the whole pumpkin like patch thing in downtown Dallas where you can go and buy a bunch of pumpkins. So I don't even know if they have stuff like that here. Probably in a town that's a really big town that's close to me, I imagine they've got to have something like this. But where I live specifically, I live in a very small town. I don't know if they do this. You're not a fan of pumpkin spice, but how about pastries like pumpkin roll? I've never heard of pumpkin roll, so I don't know. I don't like the flavor of pumpkin either, so I don't know how that would go over. What is your favorite fall movie go-to? Right now I would say You've Got Mail. Again, it's the audio, it's the music, but with You've Got Mail, it starts from fall and it ends in spring. So it's not like a full fall movie, but you know. What is your favorite fall movie? Again, just kind of goes back to a bunch. If I had to just pick one, like ultimate fall movie, I don't even know if I could answer. Amber asked me, what is your perfect fall Saturday for you from when you wake up to bedtime? I don't feel, again, quite yet that I'm experiencing fall. It could be because my fall is looking very different, but I would say the perfect fall Saturday for me would probably wake up the night before. I've done cleaning, so when I wake up, everything's clean. I just have to make my bed. And then I would go start a pot of coffee. Even though I don't drink coffee all the time, I still like to brew it every day because I love brewing coffee. It's a like healthier version of having a scent in your home versus like certain candles. So it's like I get this aroma going and it makes me wake up. It makes me just, I love the smell of coffee. Then I always put on I Love Lucy on my mini TV, and then I'll go into my living room and I put on a fall movie. And these days, the first movie that I put in is either 16 Candles or You've Got Mail as my morning movie, because my movies gotta be in order. Like Goonies would be something I would put on at night because there's a lot of nighttime shots. I'm that person where I pair up my movies with the time, weather, all of that. And then I would probably shower, get ready, wear something super casual and comfy, and then I would probably head to the beach, maybe do some type of walk, just listen to the sounds, maybe even do like a full-on little morning beach time, umbrella and all. And then I would stop at Dollar Tree on my way back because I got to. And then I would come home and I would spend the rest of the day YouTubing and crafting and journaling. Perfect. And I would do that all the way until the night, and then I would be switching my movies out and then, you know, putting on Goonies and then ending in some cute fall pajamas, and that's the perfect fall day for me. I just realized not one of that involved a man, and I think that's sad. Amanda said, love your videos and vlogs. Definitely look forward to watching them. Thank you so much, Amanda. I do want to tell you guys that I have just changed my vlog schedule. You're actually going to be getting 5 vlogs a week instead of 4. And I've changed when I'm posting them, so I'll be posting them weekdays. So I will not be posting on the weekends. Again, this is my vlog channel, not this channel. So on my vlog channel, I'll be posting Monday through Friday, but Fridays are going to be special for book reviews. Book reviews are back, and the first one's coming this Friday. So stay tuned for that. How hot is it in Florida in the fall? Yeah, right now it's like low 80s. Do I decorate outside? I do. I haven't. As I was thinking about the pumpkin, I started to realize, can I even put real pumpkins out in my yard? Because I love putting pumpkins by the door, but then I'm like, I know there's a lot of wildlife. So I don't know, Floridians, talk to me, tell me. Can I do this? I will say that there are bears. Everyone's been telling me gators, 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 but nobody told me about bears. I'm sorry, what? Bears at the beach? So there's bears. I've seen foxes everywhere. I've been a little worried to put out real pumpkins, so I have yet to decorate the outside. Do I have a big Thanksgiving dinner? The answer, I would say, is yes, even though it's always me and Micah, and we always end up eating just a roll. But I still do it. I do it because, you know, when Micah was growing up, she was obviously an only child, and it was just me and her. At the time, just a lot of it. And, you know, her friends always had a sibling, and they always had big families, and she was always like seeing that. So it was really important for me to still do these big dinners, even though we didn't have all the people there to eat it. It didn't matter to me. I still put in all the effort to do a full-on huge turkey, all the sides, all the things, and it's proven to be effective because now she's said here and there, like, and I've noticed lately as she's gotten older how important it actually has been to her that I had done that. So I'm really glad that I did this. And I'll continue to do it. So the answer is yes. Pumpkin spice latte or apple cider? Actually, neither. Just a no. Do I hand out candy to trick-or-treaters? The answer is always yes. I don't know if I'll have any this year though. Apple or pumpkin pie? Apple. Favorite fall scents, wax melts? Great question, because I actually just ordered some new wax melt warmers and some new wax melts. I found this girl on Instagram, actually. It was like an Instagram ad, and her wax melts I think are like the healthier side. They're like essential oil soy based, so I'm very excited. I ordered, of course, a bunch of apple scents, so they're coming in and I will be sharing that in my vlog coming soon. What makes you most excited about fall? I would say from a Texas perspective, I always loved the changing of the weather. I enjoy typically every season. It's nice to get a change. I just enjoyed the changing of the weather, not having to mow. That was nice and lovely. Of course, I feel like here, I'm gonna have to keep mowing. It's probably gonna be a year-round thing in Florida. Again, I'm gonna find out. But I was always excited about my outfits changing. And also I just feel like from an American perspective, people just seem happier in this like quarter of the year. And it's just electric. You just feel it. And I really like it. What's your favorite fall tradition? I mean, I don't think about them as in like, oh, this year I have to do this again because I did it last year. I think it's just one of those things where I always decorate. I always like to bake more, cook more, and I always have to do a Thanksgiving dinner. Are there things you miss about Texas in the fall? Do the leaves change color like they do here in Kentucky? So yeah, definitely. I obviously already answered that. If you had to dress up like a movie character for a Halloween party, who would it be? This video is gonna be like an hour. Can I do an hour-long video? Why not, right? Like, let's do it. If I could dress up as a movie character for Halloween, I'm debating on whether or not to tell you guys what Loki and I are gonna be this year, although it was my costume last year, so that's already a huge hint. But, and one girl guessed it. I showed one little sliver of Loki's costume and one girl guessed it. One. And I was so shook because I was like, there's no way nobody's gonna guess it. Like, it was impossible to guess. She guessed it. But I'm diving off. A movie character. Who would I be? Like, this sounds crazy, but honestly, like Kathleen Kelly from You've Got Mail, even though it'd be impossible to like look at me and tell who I am. But I saw this TikTok dedicated to like this whole Kathleen Kelly vibe, and I really liked it. It was so cute. But maybe I would probably be Catherine Janeway from Star Trek Voyager. You guys like, no, she's the top. She's the top Star Trek. Like, you just know. If you have not watched Star Trek Voyager, please. I would probably be Captain Catherine Janeway, or I would be, I'm just gonna tell you guys, I'm just gonna tell you what Loki and I are gonna be because, like, I just have to. I love Sarah from Labyrinth, and I'm gonna be her for this year, and Loki's gonna be Toby. Y'all. Okay. Yeah, it feels good. I'm glad I told you. Like, I didn't want to keep, like, why? What's the point? For what? Let's see. Will I read Lisa Kleypas, Lindsay Sands, Kathy Maxwell, Victoria Alexander romance novels? I've never heard of any of those ladies, but are you telling me they're anything like Joanna Lindsay or Julie Garwood? Because if they're anything like those two, the answer is hell yeah, I will. Joanna Lindsay and Julie Garwood, for me, write very similar, and I love that because that's the writing style I prefer. I haven't quite found some other authors to be of that level for me. So if any of these women are like those two, oh, I will own all their books, basically. Do you like Florida better than Texas? I love Florida, you guys know clearly, or I wouldn't be here. Like, I've dreamt of this pretty much almost my whole life. But the answer is no. Texas is Texas. Texas is home. And it's number one in my heart. It'll always be number one in my heart. So, what is your favorite fall memory as a kid? I wish I had an answer to this. You know what? Actually, there's one. There's one. My grandmother made these little ghosts out of tissue. It was so simple, you know. It's like, that was the thing, you know, back in the late 80s and 90s. You just like made your costumes, you made your decorations. Nothing was ever store-bought. And she made these ghosts out of tissue. She would stuck like cotton balls and then tie around the little head and then draw the eyes with like a permanent marker. But then what was weird was that I remember her like hanging them outside in the yard, and I'm like, what happened when it rained? Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what happened to those ghosts when it rained? It was tissue for the love of God. I don't know, but that's the only fall memory that I actually have. Would you ever get or do any tattoos? Not really a fall question. The answer is no. I would never get tattoos. If anything, I would remove the one that I have. So if I could go back, no. Just a no for me. Girl, you are so pretty. Do you ever go on dates? Thank you for saying that to me, because as crazy as it sounds, like, it's just nice. It's just nice to be complimented. As a human, it's nice when someone tells you that you look nice, or your hair smells nice, or you look pretty. Like, compliments are so needed, you know? And so thank you for that. And the answer is no. I mean, I just moved. I haven't dated in so long. I honest to God wouldn't even know how to go about it. What do I do? I'm on a golf course. Do I just go stand out there and sit on a chair, have a sign that says I'm available? Like, what do I do? Do I go on an app and swipe? I don't even know. Honestly, it's scary to me. I would not have any clue on how to get back on the horse. However, I know that I eventually will. But I have to admit, I have completely 1000% have enjoyed not having drama. So, where did I get my pumpkin cookies from? I assume you're talking about the pumpkin cookies that were in the Dollar Tree DIY. Those are from Walmart. Favorite fall activity? Probably coloring, playing games, app games, reading books, and journaling. Top tier. Would you travel to see the colors fall leaves? Would you, I think you're saying, like, would you travel to see the changing of fall leaves? The answer is yes. As a matter of fact, Micah and I very much love the East Coast. Again, it's another big reason why we're here. And if I could just kind of travel anytime, it would always be East Coast, always. With the exception probably of like Astoria, Oregon, where Goonies was filmed, or Seattle, or Frasier was filmed. Like, those are two bucket list items on the West Coast that I want to go to. But other than that, there's really nothing for me personally that has me drawn to the West Coast. I mean, I've been to Arizona. Is Arizona technically central? But it's not my thing. I've been to Arizona or California so much. I used to travel there for work a lot. And yeah, it was cool. I did like the Hollywood Walk and Grauman's Chinese Theater, all that. Been there, done that. The Wax Museum, did all that. Loved it. It was cool. Went to Venice Beach. Interesting time. Interesting people watching there. But I don't want to like go out of my way to go there, I guess you could say. I've always been drawn again to the East Coast, so I would love to like go to Maine, Connecticut, Vermont. Love to do that. But I will be traveling to Texas soon, so stay tuned. What is Micah up to now? She's chilling. She's chilling, reading her books. Not a question. I'm just loving all the fall decorations. Your home looks beautiful. Thank you so much. I've been trying to still like get my feel of the home, making my way around it. Like the other day, I just rearranged kind of all of my dishes in my kitchen. I had everything just set up how I originally did it when I first moved in. You know, you just start putting stuff in places. You're like, okay, here. I really didn't think too much of the lay of everything, of where utensils should be. So finally I started making little changes that I thought would make more sense for me. So I'm slowly adjusting to the new house. And you guys know I love holiday decorating, but what throws me off a lot is not having a finished space from like a foundational perspective, you know, like I feel like the living room's still missing some things. So it's hard for me when it's not fully finished from that perspective to like conceptualize holiday decor, but we're getting there. I actually just figured out all my little remaining touches for the living room, so we're getting there, and thank you for that. How do you decorate after Halloween but before Christmas? Oh, I was trying to think of what you're saying. Fall. I go back to fall, essentially. So I started decorating for fall in August. I keep fall up August, September, and then October 1st goes Halloween. Halloween lasts the 30 days for me. And then all I do essentially when I decorate for Halloween is I marry Halloween into my existing fall. So then once November 1st hits, I just pluck off the Halloween aspects and leave the fall. And then Christmas goes up usually Thanksgiving week. I don't know why, but for me, Thanksgiving and Christmas kind of goes hand in hand. Another question of, are you and Micah going to a pumpkin patch? Oh, man. I swear, thinking about the pumpkin patch back home, like, don't have me thinking about it too much, because I will pack it up and I'll go back just for this damn pumpkin patch. You never know with me. But see, that's the other thing I love about my life. Like, another big reason probably why I hold off on dating is because I can just do what I want. And I think I've really needed that in a lot of ways. I have never known what it's like to be an adult without a child until kind of recently. You know, I've always had a child on my hip since I was 18 years old. So I've never experienced my 20s without a child. I've never experienced my 30s without a child. And even when Micah was going to school at Tech and she was going to college, it still was very much like, you know, I had to X, Y, and Z and do all these things. And so only recently have I truly felt like what it's just like to just, you know, kind of put me first. You know, she's taking care of herself. She's figuring her stuff out. She's doing her YouTube thing. She definitely loves the fact that she's going to go the social media route. So if you don't know, she has her own channel. And so for me, just honestly thinking about being in a relationship, I just need more me time. I've spent so much of my life, you know, and it's like, it's just so nice. I feel like I'm experiencing what a lot of people probably experienced in their 20s when they weren't in a relationship, where you just got to do what you want. You can get, if I wanted to, like I said, the whole point, if I wanted to, I could literally pack up and move back home. Like, cause I can do what I want. And I really like that feeling, and I don't know if I want to let go of that just yet. But when I started thinking about that pumpkin patch back home, it sounds silly, but it's a big thing. It's a big core happy memory for me. So I will say, out of anything that is probably going to make me the saddest is probably that damn pumpkin patch back home. Like, for real. Okay. Favorite fall recipes? None that I've tried yet, but I definitely want to do a lot of baking. I want like cute little cakes in the fridge, even like doing it semi-homemade. Have you seen where they go to like the grocery store and they buy the cake, but they kind of like peel off all the decorations off of it and they make it rustic and raw, and it just seems so easy and doable. I want to do that. I also want to bake my own cinnamon rolls, but also like do a twist of like strawberry filling or something, or do some like apple crumble or some type of like little fall tart or something. Like, I just really want to bake and make all the cute things. Actually, last year, I'll link this video down below if I can find it. If not, just search it up on my channel. But I made these little fall mini apple pies, but they were a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern, cut out face and all. It was so cute. I saw it on Instagram. It was just like a post. It didn't give a recipe or anything, but like based off of the picture, I think I figured it out. So go watch that video. And Jay asked favorite fall dessert, and can a girl get pineapple themed composition notebooks? Your obsession with pineapples is just like my obsession with Kylo Ren. The answer is yes. I'm gonna save pineapples for summertime as a release. And if you don't know what she's talking about, I love composition notebooks so much that I decided to kind of create my own designs because I just wasn't really seeing stuff that like I would normally buy. So I got you, they're on Amazon. I'll link those down below too. And I think, I mean, honestly, all the questions are pretty much similar in terms of like, yeah, movies, what I like to eat. Somebody asked, did you find stepping on crunchy leaves satisfying? Actually, I don't, it's not something that like I want to seek out. I actually like a super tidy lawn, but on the flip side, I love seeing like all of the homes on the East Coast with like the leaves everywhere, you know, kind of like the Hocus Pocus moment. I really love that, but I don't per se want that for me, if that makes sense, but I love seeing it. I don't know if that makes sense. I think I pretty much answered most of the fall questions. Definitely leave your answers down below to anything that like question that you liked that you want to answer. I really loved the question on what costume would I wear as like a movie character. Captain Catherine Janeway for sure, and then of course Sarah from Labyrinth. I would love to be Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, you know, again, I was in my 20s raising Micah. I wasn't getting dressed up and going to Halloween parties at that time. Like, I was just, that wasn't something I was doing. So I never got to do those fun things. I mean, I think I went to one Halloween party actually when she was young, and I went as a cop. And my boyfriend at the time, of course, went as prisoner. But I think that was it for like, as far as like my Halloween costumes go. If I were to think back to all of Micah's costumes, just to kind of rattle them off, her very first costume ever, she was Pooh Bear's Pot of Honey. So she's like a pot of honey. And it was this full-on little outfit that was from the Disney store. And it was like, you know, to keep her warm because it does get pretty cold in Texas for Halloween. Then she was, I believe she was a Power Ranger one year, but that was the year she was sick. She was like under the weather, so she didn't go trick-or-treating. Actually, I took her to one house and then she just kind of looked and I was like, yeah, you're done. She was also Tinkerbell. I'm amazed that I don't remember all of her childhood costumes, but like, anyways, she's been like a pirate. She's been, one year in college, she went as, or maybe this was high school? Her and her best friend, they were very like yin and yang. Micah was very like nighttime moon and her friend was very bright and sunny. So Micah went as the moon and her friend went as the sun, but like in a very cute, you know, girly way. I thought that was really adorable. Yeah, she did a pirate theme with Megan last year, I believe. And I have no idea what's gonna happen this year per se. I don't even know if I'm gonna have trick-or-treaters, but Loki and I will go as Sarah and Toby from Labyrinth. It'd be hilarious if we could get Micah to maybe be, you know, the Goblin King. She won't do it. But anyways, that's it. My camera like is dying because that's how long I've been here. But that's my fall Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for all the fun questions. I love doing these. So definitely follow me on my Instagram so that whenever I ask you guys for like Q&A, if you want to kind of contribute and ask a question, you can do that there. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.